And of course, we enjoy seeing you every year at the most inspiring global tech event. That would be IFA in Berlin, Germany. And we're delighted to be joined now by the IFA Director himself from Messe Berlin, Dirk Koslowski. Dirk, welcome back into Tomorrow. How are you, sir, from Berlin?
Thanks, Dave. Thanks. I'm really fine. And first of all, thanks for having me. Congratulations to you and your team for the 26th edition of this kind of promotional show, because it's tremendous, as we all know. Yeah, being let's say an advocate and an ambassador for the best in technology for so many years, and I have to say thumbs up for everyone behind your scenes and of course behind the micro. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Dirk, very much. We appreciate that, and we talk about tech and tech history on the show, of course, every week, sponsored by IFA, as a matter of fact, because your show is absolutely, hands down, without question, the most historic tech show in the world, because I'm very fond of talking about one of the first keynote speakers was Albert Einstein. And, there's a lot of tech shows, CES, of course, among them, no question. But a lot of other shows involving technology around the world, no one can stand up to the tech history of IFA. And it continues. You guys managed to have both a virtual trade show and an in-person trade show with restrictions by, understandably, the Berlin government because of COVID, so you couldn't have nearly as many people. But you managed to pull it off. It was a very successful event. Can you tell us about that this last September, where, of course, if anybody listening missed any of it, we have 3 weeks of coverage at intotomorrow.com, and you want to come by and check that out, including keynote highlights and folks introducing a lot of new products and many virtual interviews as well. But you managed to pull off both in person and virtual. It was awesome.
Yeah, indeed. It was a huge challenge, I have to admit. It was quite hard to manage because all the uncertainty we faced around us within our German region, around Berlin, and of course the entire European markets, that brought us to the decision it will be possible, and if there will be a solution, we will find a way to bring our exhibitors to our exhibiting partner into the right limelight to present their newest in technology, their products, and of course, their best in techniques.
Sure. And I'm frankly quite surprised that shows like CES and others that were all looking at the success of IFA last September didn't still try to do at least a portion in person, and instead virtually all virtual.
Yeah, to be honest, of course, we can't talk about an IFA. It didn't used to be an IFA edition with more than 2,000 exhibitors with covered net rented space of more than 160,000 square meters or so, and more than 240,000 visitors.
Wow.
That wasn't possible. That's clearly not possible. Still not possible. But what we really did quite well was to mix up, first and foremost, a physical show with almost 6,000 participants, especially retailers and media people. And we mixed them and we mingled them with more than 140,000 virtual visitors, which were part of our IFA extended space, where we promoted, of course, press conferences, keynotes, and, of course, not to forget, the newest in technology.
Yep, you did a very good job in putting that physical and virtual space together, and we were very glad to attend, at least in that virtual manner, because, of course, the European Union at the time, I wonder if they've changed that yet, I don't know, I haven't heard, wouldn't let us come from the U.S. anyway. Because of coronavirus. Well, that and the fact that I was stuck in the hospital for a month, but that's beside the point. The fact is, we couldn't.
That's another hurdle.
It was another hurdle, absolutely. But I do have my button proudly displaying that I got just today, as we speak, the first of the 2 COVID vaccine shots. So we are all making progress and forging ahead to whatever the new normal might end up being.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the hope.
Yes, for sure. But not only did it work out for you guys with Messe Berlin, Berlin producing the IFA show. But it worked out for everyone we spoke with via our Zoom meetings. They were very pleased to be part of the IFA environment, whether it was physically on site, with many of them we did, or from their offices literally around the world or their homes. And it worked out very well that they were excited to be part of IFA, regardless of whether they could be there in person or not. So kudos to you and your team for pulling that off. I think that was amazing and a good example of what others should be doing in the industry.
Yeah, thank you so much for this, Dave. If you can imagine that we brought together people from more than 80 countries.
Wow.
Watching online or face-to-face on-site what our exhibiting partners presented. That's something special, especially during such a hard time. It used to be in September, and we are very much looking forward. And that's the more positive signal for the market for 2021. Having such a good feedback in mind, of course, we are watching forward how to make a big show, let's say a show under full steam, like we're knowing IFA from the former years, possible in September in Berlin again.
Yeah, and that's terrific, because while there still may be some people that might not make it in person, you'll still have that virtual element, or I love how you called it the IFA extended space, which really was an opportunity. And if folks haven't seen that, it's still available at ifa-berlin.com. Take a peek at how you can literally go into a virtual trade show floor, not just clicking a button or hitting a logo or doing something like that, like others have done, but actually go into somebody's booth and see their products and talk to their people. It truly was fascinating. I imagine you'll still have that element as part of it, even though we hope most of us can be back in Berlin in person.
Yeah, we all thinking the same way. Nothing beats the personal interaction. Nothing beats the experience, the touch of products, and to figure out how, not just how a product look like, but how it works. Yeah. For the families, for the homes, or at work, and that's exactly the point what IFA is delivering. And why we are so proud, and we are having this long history you already mentioned since 1924, being the leading trade show for consumer purposes, for consumer requirements according to technology.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Not only consumer tech, but appliances, and the merging of appliances with technology is more than ever before in history, and it truly is amazing. You guys, once again, had the jump on it years ago when you said, well, appliances and that line is kind of blurring, because appliances now with IoT are many times connected, and those that are not are becoming more and more connected. So it was a perfect move. I think.
You're talking about the smart environment.
Yes.
Including all connected products, of course. 5G makes so much possible, which we never even thought before, and that's exactly the point where we can stepping in. And just to mention one more point, or one more area we are going to deliver at IFA to our partners and clients. It's IFA Next, and that's the melting pot where especially the newest in technology, the new startups and entrepreneurs and innovators are meeting each other. And we are quite positive that we will find a great success story once again in 2021 for IFA.
Oh, terrific. And I'm very glad, Dirk, to hear you say that, because I think we get some of our absolute best interviews from those new entrepreneurs, those startups, those innovators. The whole point of hashtag co-innovation has never been more important than it is now. And to talk with those people, we certainly look forward to being once again in person in Berlin this coming September for IFA 2021. And we'll absolutely interview you again there from our big broadcast area, where we bring in a lot of these folks that have product to show. And it's an exciting time. And this will be our 19th year doing so. We don't want to miss it.
Yeah, presenting from your broadcast castle.
Yes, it is kind of a broadcast castle. Yeah, that's the new name, Chris. It's going to be the Broadcast Castle. So we'll look to your graphics folks to change that.
We carved it out now.
Yeah, there you go.
You
work, and we want a moat with alligators in it, of course, because we're from Florida. So we got to do that. The organizer of IFA in Berlin is Messe Berlin. You can check out ifa-berlin.com. And Dirk Koslowski, the IFA Director, thanks so much for joining us, for coming on with us during our CES coverage, because it's a good opportunity to remind people there's so much to talk about in this industry.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for having me again. And good luck for the rest of the show.
Well, thank you. It's our pleasure as well, as I'm holding up my big IFA cube for all to see. And, of course, we invite you to visit us at intotomorrow.com, where we'll link you to ifa-berlin.com and all of our guests. You'll be able to see what Dirk and his team are up to regularly, especially leading up to September this year and the big, exciting IFA for 2021. Meantime, I'm Dave Graveline, bringing you further into tomorrow from virtual CES right here on the Advanced Media Network.